Yeah, yeah, I think it is. If you loved Elden Ring, you'll enjoy this game as well. And if you're able to get one or two other friends to get the game, I mean, you'll have a fantastic time. Though, as it does have its positives, it also has its negatives. And so I'll get a bit more detailed. So if you want to form a better decision before buying the game, you'll have all the things you need to know. Starting with the positives, the classes are all very fun and unique from one another. You can unlock skins to change their appearances, some of which are in reference to old Souls games. Each class has their own quest line, in which they can give you custom relics, goblets, and skins as rewards, though some of the skins are kinda ass and change only one little detail. Also, you can run duplicate classes on each run, so everyone can be the same character. About the aforementioned relics. Relics are rewards you receive after each run, whether you succeed or fail that run. They give different passive buffs, they can specialize your character in certain ways, and overall just give little buffs to any character in the game. Now, a lot of people argue that the relics hold no value or have very little effect on the classes in general, or on the runs at all, and they just simply aren't unique enough. While I can understand this opinion, I don't fully reciprocate it, because I think they're kind of fine right now. They just simply need more unique passives, and much more of them at that. Like, there's this one that you get after beating a boss that you build up madness whenever you're doing a certain emote, and when you proc madness, you get an FP regen effect, which is pretty cool for characters that can't regen FP easily. Well, all I'm wondering is, why aren't there more unique ones like this in the game? Why can't there be one where whenever you do like a sleeping emote, your FP gets drained and converted into HP, you know? Or why isn't there a relic for certain classes like the Archer that gives them a double jump or something like that? Or even there's a Prattling Pate that says, let's get to it, and imagine if that gave like a 10% damage buff to nearby allies for a little while. You know, just more unique passives like this would add a lot to the game, but currently, they're fine. Combat is nearly identical to Elden Ring in almost every way. The only differences stem from the custom playstyles of each class. But what is a massive improvement from Elden Ring is the movement. Storm Surge has a secondary enhanced sprint, and the climbing mechanic feels pretty good. My friend who I've been playing this game with has been saying that this should have been the movement of Elden Ring. And I kind of agree, at least for the Storm Surge sprint. I don't know about the climbing. The characters and their abilities along with the relics simply add to the core combat gameplay of Elden Ring, becoming an overall net positive. Lastly, the bosses. Every Night Lord boss in this game, except for Augur, this guy's ass, is good. In fact, I'd even say some of these are simply phenomenal bosses. Though when it comes to the bosses of the Fortnite portion of the gameplay, this is when I'm going to get into the negatives of the game a bit. Most of the bosses you face are normal enemies, like Crucible Knights or bosses like Tree Sentinel from Elden Ring. Only a few have new faces or attacks, making them different from their Elden Ring counterpart. Now, this in itself isn't a bad thing. I mean, the game is literally called Elden Ring Nightreign for a reason. I mean, the main issue is, for a game of over 70 unique bosses, you would expect a higher variety of the possible end-day bosses. Sadly, this isn't the case, and each Night Lord has a set low number of bosses that could possibly be the final boss of a given cycle in Nightreign. A massive plus is that old Souls-like bosses have been brought to this game and updated. I've never played any other FromSoft game, so these have been a highlight for me, and really, the end of night bosses should just be these remastered bosses from old Souls games, and the unique bosses of Elden Ring, while all the lesser bosses and enemies from Elden Ring could fill up the field and be the field bosses and enemies that you face. Perhaps even old Souls-like enemies could make a return as well. Now, the map does get altered in different ways due to a thing called Shifting Earth, like how after you beat the starting boss, there's now a massive volcano area with lots of bosses. It's a great place to go and get loot. At the very end, if you make it all the way to the bottom and beat that boss, you can upgrade anything to a legendary tier. It's really cool. You know, it adds more to what would be the monotonous gameplay of just simply the map in the field. Though one of the issues I found with this is if you have a Shifting Earth going on right now, and you're trying to queue into a different match, and they have a different Shifting Earth going on, the server isn't letting you queue together. Now, you're supposed to be able to, right? And sometimes you do, and simply whoever's the host of that server will have their Shifting Earth be what's occurring on the map. Though I have also found I'll be sitting in queue for 30 minutes straight and never find another person, never find a third, or never even be able to find other people when I'm playing solo. But then I'll get rid of my Shifting Earth, and then instantaneously find another group. There's an issue going on right now with the quest lines, that if you have a quest line going on for your character, you're struggling to queue with other people. And I believe that the same thing is happening with Shifting Earth, because it's happened multiple times, and, you know, I know causation isn't always correlation. Wait, shit, I said that backwards. But you know what I'm saying. This also leads me into the final topic, and personally, the biggest negative for the game. Matchmaking is some of the worst, most poorly designed garbage in the entire industry. I would rather deal with Nintendo's terrible servers than struggle for another 30 minutes trying to find just a single random to queue with me and my friend. There are so many bugs preventing a two-person party from finding a third person, along with different issues like shifting earth and remembrances dictating who you can queue with, which is also extremely rough and annoying to deal with. This is not even including all the issues PS5 players have been having with trying to queue with people, and you've got Elden Ring devs being like, yeah, if you have a NAT Type 3 connection, you're gonna have to try. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy all the things that have been going wrong with matchmaking. This is sadly the worst part of the game, and since FromSoft has a long history, from what I understand, of having the worst multiplayer of all time, I don't even know if they have the capabilities of improving on it. But seeing as how revered they are held, I'm sure that they will improve on it. The only solution I can see is to add a duos option, since the game doesn't really have a duo option currently. The bosses aren't even difficult enough where you can't win with two people. I beat the first boss first try with a friend after someone DC'd. Even other times when you're queuing, you'll need to quit to the menu, load back in, because the server isn't actually putting you in a queue. I mean, it's absurd. It really is absurd. And it doesn't help that Elden Ring devs are saying, have you tried turning it off and back on again? One thing I will say I have found, though, is these issues only really ever occur when something like the Remembrance or Shifting Earth is happening, or, you know, you have one of the glitches going on. Once you fix whatever that is, it works for the next, like, 8 hours straight. However long you play, you'll pretty much instantly be queuing. At most, you'll be waiting, like, 2 minutes to queue for Augur, because nobody wants to fight that ass of a boss. After having said everything needed to be said, is this game worth your money? I mean, I would say yes. If you have at least one other friend to play it with, you're gonna have a fun time. Sadly, servers are pretty bad right now, and the game is slightly repetitive currently, though all in all, still incredibly fun, and all of the, not you, Night Lord bosses are incredibly fun as well. Also, this game will be getting updates. It won't be live service, but they have guaranteed some future updates adding more content and some DLC. So, for $40, along with future updates, I would say $40 is a good price for it and worth your money. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.